She smiled as she watched the bird poke along, trailing that black tail with gold speckles until it was out of sight. And then she sat, happy. A pheasant was a good omen for rice harvest. And maybe that one was a good omen for Xing Xing too. Maybe this journey would end well. Soon after they passed the paddy, the ox cart turned off the main road onto a country path. What was going on? Xing Xing felt for sure that this was not the way to the town. She got to her feet again and unsteadily looked out over the orchard of apple trees as the cart bumped along. I have to get off, she called to the driver. I'm going to the town, on the main road. We're practically there, he called back. But a man can't sell fowl in the evening. There's a place up here where I like to spend the night, so I can wake early and get into town as soon as the market opens. A girl like you shouldn't be out on your own at this hour anyway. Your stepmother must not care for you too much. He laughed. But you're in luck. We'll stop up here a little ways and share a meal, and you can spend the night with me. Thank you, said Xing Xing, and then she squatted out of his sight. Her fingers worried the cloth of the date sack. People were basically good, despite the pirates on the seas and the brigands in the mountains. Kung Fu Z's teachings were clear on that. And what would happen would happen. Fate ruled the cosmos. Xing Xing knew all of this. But Father had told her that some people were fated to use their heads. And wasn't a fish fated to hide under a lily pad when a shadow crossed her path? When Xing Xing was sure the driver had turned his attention back to driving, she crawled past the slave boy to the back of the cart. He made no move to stop her. She wished that she had something to give him to show her gratitude, but all she had were the dates, and he'd already eaten his fill of them. She bowed deep to him, and then she threw her sack over and jumped after it. She hit the uneven ground hard, bruising both of her knees and reopening the gash in her arm that she had gotten when she fell from the tree the day the raccoon had attacked Wei Ping. She looked over her shoulder at the cart, expecting that the thud of her fall would have made the driver stop. But the cart kept going. She grabbed the sack and ran back along the path. On both sides now were fields with alternating rows of turnips and cabbages. If she heard the cart slow down, there would be nowhere for her to hide. She ran as fast as she could toward the apple trees, looking back often as the sound of the wheels grew fainter. The cart was practically even with another field now, one high with wheat. It was far off, but the path was so straight that if the driver looked back, he would surely see her. Xing Xing ran, panting. She came to the apple tree at the very moment a cry went up from the slave boy. He pointed out into the wheat field that the cart was now passing and shouted. She jumped out and ran that way. The man stopped the cart and stood on his seat to get a better look. But he did not look into the wheat field. He looked back up at the path, right at Xing Xing. She ducked into the apple orchard and dashed from tree to tree in the direction of the main road. Branches tore at her skin and clothes.